Morning all, just a quick video this morning just to show you how we're getting on through the season with cover crops. They'll be paid under the SFI. I think it's 129 or 132 pounds a hectare. Seed cost this year was about 30 pounds a hectare because it was mostly home saved beans, oats and barley, so that's all happy days. But it's quite slow this year, so grazing income will probably only be about 15 pound a hectare, but is what it is. Exciting day today, 23rd of August, and Christmas has just arrived in the form of cover crops. So I've got 3 different cover crops this year going in post winter wheat, basically depending on what's going to follow them. So the 3 spring crops growing this year will be spring oats, the num3 legume fallow and intercropping trials. So slightly different mix compared to what is going to go in. Behind me we've got a few different extra bits and pieces which I bought. This is winter veg. I'm going to be using in a whole crop mix in late September, early October. Nice little pretty picture. Buckwheat, got some of that left over already. Fodder radish along here, I've got some of that already. That's just a bit more extra. Graziers like it. What is this? Phacelia, because it looks pretty. Nice shallow roots, and then some berseem clover because it did really well in the summer cover crop this year. The legume fallow, so we'll see how it does in a winter cover crop. We are the 23rd of August currently, so hopefully get these in by the end of the month is the plan. Also got what was left over from the bird food mix. And then leftover linseed and buckwheat. It's got a good bit left over, and then we'll be bulking up the rest of it with barley, oats and beans left over from the trials. So with a bit of gap in the harvest between wheat and spring oats, we're getting on with some cultivations. You see here we're just going through with what's supposedly a low disturbance subsoiler, but as it is so dry and has been compacted, there's a few lumps being pulled up. Quite solid. See the middle of this field here. Had serious drainage issues this last winter. Well, this last winter, but doing a good job. It's a bit tough going, but we will drill a cover crop in here and then roll is the plan. Before grazed in the sheep in this block here has been followed by legume fallow. Where all this black grass section is in the middle, I think I'm going to go over with a set of discs just to kill some of it off. Some of it is probably seeding. Yeah, it is. You can see how hard it is through here. Just a nice big clay bit in the middle of the field. Yeah, a bit of a rough old tram line there when it was wet. Some of the 4 metre heaver stealth, not very low disturbance. Just got some new points on it, so it's heaving quite a bit of ground at the moment. But this ground is in need of some serious air after last winter. Cover crop to follow. It's got 4 bags here. We got the buckwheat, linseed, leftover game mix, and a little bit of barley seed. Just a tiny bit in the bottom of the bag, just because there's some treated seed and I just want to use it up. Can't really use it for much else. Just going to chuck all this in the trailer, put it all through, and then just go back and forth a bit until it's mixed. Right, it's got most of that in it now. Got the barley over there, linseed down there, buckwheat, and then the leftover game cover mix, sunflowers, sorghum. There is some buckwheat and linseed in there, and all these little bits and pieces. Got my spade, just going to slice them in half because it's much easier. All the seed in the trailer currently. Now what I'm going to be doing is just tipping a bit into here, till it's full. I mean, I probably should have put it on the floor, that's not going to help. Filling as much as I can in here, and then just putting it back in the top and rinse and repeat. Looks like I need to put a bag under there. Done that a couple of times, now it's looking quite mixed. One bag done there. Just going to tip the trailer back a bit and then do the last bag. Just put this bag on the floor because this chute isn't very good, as you can see. Got a bit of spillage. Morning, so we are back in our usual place under the drill, calibrating. I've got a list of instructions in my hand of all my different cover crop mixes, and that's back to front. But basically, long story short, got my mix ready. So we've got the oats and veg down there, stuff that me and Dad did together, a little bit of leftover barley in here. And then that's barley and veg in there. We'll be swapping out the barley and veg for beans, depending on what the crop following the cover crop is. So for example, the legume fallow won't have beans, but where I've got oats following, I'll put lots of beans in there for the nitrogen. Just checking all the depth of the seeds, make sure we're about right. The top end of this field has been low disturbance subsoiled, and the bottom hasn't, as you can see over there, so we'll have to just check it's doing the same over all of it. So we're in the intercropping field now. That's where I was up in that corner before. See, the top half of this field has been low disturbance subsoiled, and the bottom half kind of left untouched, apart from some of the headlands. So we're just checking the seed depth now for the cover crops to be grazed by sheep shortly. And the low disturbance subsoiler disturbing quite a lot. But yeah, it's really blimmin' tight here. But yeah, to follow with the cover crop soon. Just changing cover crop varieties now. We're going on to cover crops before oats instead of cover crops before broadleafs. 8th of September now, just having a look in the first of the cover crops that were drilled. You can see 2 buckwheat plants there, a little clover, volunteer wheat. There's a Phacelia down there. This is definitely coming up well, which is good. Good to see is a mustard. Another radish there. So hopefully we should have some good coverage here. And get some sheep on in November. 17th of September. And there's actually some linseed. 24th of September. After all that rain, this was some of the last drilled cover crops. You can see it's a bit damp there still, but they're coming on well now. They're really going to appreciate all that rain because they're relatively slow to get going. I mean, even the mustards, the brassica and the buckwheat, they normally fly up. They're a bit slow. That vetch is pushing on quite well. There's even a linseed there. The beans are really liking it. They'll love this damp weather, but yeah, being a little bit nibbled there. Looks like something's been picking at that. So it's the 29th of September today, and I will just pop a photo on the screen now of what the cover crops looked like last year, where we got them in super early, so we had an early harvest, we had a bit of rain straight after drilling, and they just absolutely romped on. And if anything, they actually grew too quick compared to now this year. This was the first field drilled. You can see it's definitely there, it's going to do something, but yeah, you see to the right of the screen, that's had a low disturbance subsoiler, and to the left was straight in, because it's just a bit heavier on this right end. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too loud, the AirPods are shielding it a bit, but yeah, last year was actually a bit of an issue. Everything grew way too quick. By mid-November, all the mustard was well, seeding before we'd even had the sheep in, so lots of it actually didn't convert into very good fodder because it had kind of gone too far through its growth cycle. We normally get sheep in about mid-November, end of November sort of time, but we really needed them right at the start of November last year. This year will definitely be an end of November when we bring them in, but yeah, it's just so annoying. It's just been such rubbish weather this year. It's just been so, well, we just haven't had the heat, we haven't had the sunlight. I mean, well, that's been since blooming July, we haven't really had any sunlight. But we've had plenty of rain now. I see a section behind me that always floods and fills with black grass. But yeah, it's just a bit disappointing really, but never matter. I'd rather have it in and not do a lot than not have it in at all, but oh well. So I just wanted to point out, like, even with the drilling date, just the seasonal difference it can make. So this is all volunteer mustard and buckwheat from when we topped the legging fallow right at the start of August. So I mean, even with a couple of weeks on the cover crops, at least a couple of weeks on the cover crops before they were established, still showing how much slower it's been this season compared to last season. But there's plenty still coming through. Oh, even peas. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching that. Glad there is a little bit of ground cover at least, because after all this rain, anything we've left cultivated is not in the best shape. Just shows that having living plants in the ground really helps, but need to get a seeder on every bit of cultivation kit, I reckon. Anyway, future problem. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember, hit that like, subscribe. Cheers.